Welcome to The Problematic Gaze with me, Dr. Lee Arnott.
And me, Dave Moore.
Each episode will take a piece of pop culture from yesteryear and ask ourselves the question, could you get away with it today? And if not, why not? And what does that say about society and culture then and now?
And before we take a deep dive into our chosen topic, we'll look at the news events of the day our film or TV programme was released. We'll also look at the film or TV landscape and look at the pop charts just to put our chosen topic and the year into context.
Yes.
There we go.
Happy Betwixtmas.
Happy Betwixtmas, or as you call it...
The Christmas perineum.
Yes.
Yeah. Determined to get that to catch on. Determined.
That's the little bit in between the PP and the arsehole, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's right. Just for those who didn't know, it's the in-between bit. We've all got one.
So Betwixtmas is my favourite part of the holidays.
Is it?
Because Christmas Day and everything, there's a lot of pressure. You know, some people spend it with their families, that do their heads in. Some people spend it alone, which is fine too. And then New Year, again, is forced fun, which I hate.
Yeah.
So I just love this in-between bit where you forget what day it is.
Time loses all meaning.
You can watch what the hell you want on telly. You can start drinking.
I knew.
You can drink when and if you want to.
Yes.
Just stuff yourself with a bit of food. But also today, I'd had enough of all the food. You know, the leftovers in the fridge and everything. I had to have a bowl of bran flakes with a chopped banana and some sultanas on it and some coconut milk. Just to feel as though I was just getting a little bit of health in, just to flush myself out a little bit without getting into too graphic detail.
Yes. Needless to say, I'm sick of the sight of Christmas food by Boxing Day. I want the tree down on the 27th.
Yeah.
All of that. I'm back to normal in terms of diet. Just got a mountain of cheese in the fridge.
You arrived at PG Manor yesterday,
yes.
didn't you?
Yes,
and we had a few little glasses of wine, watched a few little bits on TV. Then you nodded off like Nana in the corner.
Proper nodded off.
Yeah, and then about 11 o'clock, woke up, bolt upright, got his second wind, cracked the Baileys out.
I know. You see how this works? You said to me, would you like a Baileys? I didn't crack the Baileys out, you cheeky bastard. And I still was in bed earlier than he was.
So Lee forced me to get the Baileys out.
That's right.
And I thought, well, just have a little parsimonious one with a couple of chunks of ice. How many times did you go back into the kitchen to refill?
Just once, I think.
Twice.
Was it?
Not that I begrudge you.
No.
But when you come back into the room with half a tumbler full, Dr. Lee Arnott measures, that's what that is.
Well, you've been burnt before, so you should know better.
Yes.
It's not my fault if you never learn from your mistakes, has it?
Well, I'm just glad that you haven't seen the rum that's in the liquor cabinet.
I saw it, love. But
Did you?
notice how I didn't touch it.
You didn't? No?
I mean, I've drank half of it this morning. But,
On your bran flakes?
Yeah.
Rum and raisin?
Rubber raisin.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Okay, all that being said...
To show business.
To show business. So, over the Betwixtmas and the New Year, there's always some sort of old film on that it's kind of a staple, it's a go-to. And we're going to be looking at one of those today, aren't
Yes, we are. I'm quite excited about this because we are looking at 1972's The Poseidon Adventure. Now, I remember this very well because on Christmas Eve 1981, BBC One showed The Poseidon Adventure. I was 8.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember at school when we went back in the new year, everyone had watched The Poseidon Adventure and everyone had just said how great it was. So it's been a long-standing personal favourite of mine. What about you?
I remember watching it when I was about 7 or 8. So it must have been about the same time that it was on telly. And just being transfixed by it. It was so exciting. A disaster movie.
Yeah.
You know, and it just seemed so exotic.
Oh, the cruise. It's so posh, wasn't it? It was like...
proper posh cruise, and it all goes wrong, and you're kind of rooting for all the characters.
Not all of them.
Well, Pamela Sue Martin in
Yes,
particular.
mainly.
From Dynasty fame and Nancy Drew fame, obviously.
Yes.
So I tell you a little bit about...
Please do.
Before we delve into the news events, etc., we'll tell you a little bit about the Poseidon Adventure.
Let's do it.
Please do. My well-researched, constructed notes.
I'm going to look intently at you while you're doing it.
Okay, oh shit, okay, no pressure.
Oh, I won't do that.
The Poseidon Adventure is a 1972 American disaster film directed by Ronald Neame, produced by Irwin Allen, and based on Paul Gallico's 1969 novel of the same name. It has an ensemble cast, including 5 Oscar winners: Gene Hackman, Ernest Borgnine, Jack Albertson, Shelley Winters, and Red Buttons. So, I won't tell you too much about what happens, only to say that it was released in December 1972 and it became the second highest grossing film of the year, earning over $125 million worldwide. It was nominated for 8 Academy Awards and went on to win 2 Oscars, a Golden Globe, BAFTA, and a Motion Picture Sound Editors Award. The sequel, Beyond the Poseidon Adventure, also based on a novel by Gallico, was released in 1979.
Right, there we go. Very good. Now, ordinarily, we would cross over to the news desk. However, we have visited 1972 4 times in our back catalogue already, so it's slightly different in that we're going to cross to Culture Corner. Just made that up. And see what kind of cultural things were happening in the year 1972.
I'm going to have to do a new jingle.
You have to do a new jingle.
Let's just do it now. Culture Corner, Culture Corner, Culture Corner, Culture Corner.
I bet that sounds amazing when you've twiddled the knobs.
So, this moment that we're going to talk about, first of all, I spoke to my dad about.
Oh, did you?
Went out on Boxing Day, as a tradition,
Right.
in my hometown of Scarborough.
Yes.
With my family members and everything, go there and have a few little bevies and stuff. And I spoke to him. I said we were going to do the Poseidon Adventure. And what does he remember about 1972? And he came out with remembering this.
Oh, really?
Yes, which is David Bowie debuting Ziggy Stardust on Top of the Pops. So he sung Starman on the 6th of July, and it became like the glam rock Big Bang, didn't it? I mean, you can watch it now and it's still mesmerising. Bowie puts his arm around Mick Ronson and blows a young Britain's mind.
Yes.
So dressed androgynously,
Yes.
singing this wonderful song, isn't it? Just, I mean, it epitomises the early 70s for me.
Yes, right. Right.
And yes, decided to put his arm around another man on primetime telly.
Yes. I mean, it's just astonishing, isn't it, when you think about it, the effect. And clearly it resonated because your dad remembers it, you know. And it speaks a lot about how men are unable to be physically close to each other, apart from in sport or ultra-masculine environments where it's safe. So here we have a very androgynous Bowie. I mean, androgynous by the standards of 1972, which was fucking mind-blowingly androgynous. As you say, exhibiting this behaviour that would ordinarily be seen as gay, but actually is not. I mean, it was probably groundbreaking, proper groundbreaking. Also, we have Slade and T-Rex, who are the big hitters of the year. Mama, We're All Crazy Now, spell it like you say it, and Take Me Back Home are 2 of Slade's biggest hits. Noddy Holder, Shout Singing, becomes a national sport, whereas T-Rex are also massive. Mark Bolan is everywhere. He's the glam prince of glam rock. Glitter suddenly becomes a thing. Again, he's on Top of the Pops. Makeup. We'll talk a bit later about colour and how colour TV and glam rock go together. But yes, glam is everywhere, isn't it? I find it astonishing that it's all these like truck drivers from Birmingham and stuff, you know, in these amazing fucking outfits with makeup and jewellery and long hair. And it's so kind of weird that this happens in this little bubble of like 3 or 4 years in Britain. It's really odd.
Do you think that just came from the seeds of like Bowie and T-Rex and Slade? Or was there other outside influences?
I don't know, I don't know. But I think colour TV has a lot to do with it.
Okay.
Yeah, as we've all discussed. But give us another of the big crazes of the year, Dave.
Now, on this podcast, Dr. Lee always says about progress and pop culture and history not necessarily being linear.
No.
So the same time we've got this explosion of glam rock, running alongside that is another cultural phenomenon that might not be seen as quite as progressive.
Or cool.
or cool. But it's the Osmonds. And the Osmonds, they cause hysteria at Heathrow in this year. Thousands of teenagers swarm to the airport. The press called it Beatlemania 2, but with better teeth.
Better teeth, and better outfits, although they clearly weren't. But
no.
Have you ever seen the footage of...
I have.
Yeah, the Osmonds just banging crazy teens and people old enough to know better.
Yeah, I mean, it did hark back. It did feel as though the Osmonds were a kind of continuation of the 50s heartthrob bands, didn't it?
Yes, yeah, and they had that kind of purity, I suppose. Yeah, let's say Christianity for what
and
it is.
family values.
Yes, family values. Yeah, patriarchal family values. Little Jimmy,
Yes.
Little Jimmy Osmond, would a little Jimmy Osmond character happen today? I don't think so. We're a lot more cynical, aren't we?
No.
And again, it speaks of that kind of more innocent times when a little child could have hits, long hair lover from Liverpool, and be seen as something adorable.
Yes.
And yeah, it's
Cool.
I think Osmonds are weird. If I said to you, Dave,
Yeah.
yeah. Your chosen subject is
Madonna.
all right, Dave Moore, in 2 minutes, questions on Madonna starting now. Yes, because this year Mastermind premieres, instantly becomes a hit.
Yeah.
Magnus Magnusson, of course, was the original presenter, does it for decades, he did it for a long time.
Placing contestants in the most uncomfortable environment possible.
Yes.
Yeah, I still watch it now. Although we have been watching the celebrity version over Christmas, and they do dumb it down a little bit.
They do dumb it down.
They dumb it down, darling.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah, I prefer University Challenge.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. Please, we got that sorted.
Okay, so we have talked about the advent of colour television, and this year it kind of really hits critical mass.
Yeah.
Colour television becomes the norm now.
Yes.
Britain's living rooms suddenly look psychedelic even when the TV is off, because obviously the decor of the 70s as well was hugely colourful, in contrast to kind of like the dour post-war years leading into the 50s.
I suppose you could argue the 60s has really seen that. Yeah, I mean, if anything, the 70s goes more brown again. But colour TV, it doesn't really become the norm until the 70s. And actually, a lot of people are still watching black and white. But what you see is, I always say, Top of the Pops and Doctor Who are adjacent to each other at the BBC. So any new special effects are being tried out in Doctor Who will end up in Top of the Pops and vice versa.
Yeah.
So what happens in the early 70s, you get this explosion of colour and weird special effects, singers, suddenly their faces come across here. Exactly the same thing's happening in Doctor Who each week, So, and I said, glam rock really leans into this explosion of colour, because I don't think glam rock would have been as successful if it had been in black and white.
But I suppose what it is like this colour TV is a new thing, because you can show things in colour now. They probably decorated the sets and decorate their bodies with, like you say, the explosion of colour to kind of exploit that and to use it to its full potential, rather than like in later years everyone was like, okay, let's all calm down a little bit.
Yes, we've got colour now, we can calm down.
We get it.
Yeah, it's true, it's absolutely what happens.
Wow.
And that synergy between Doctor Who and Top of the Pops goes right through until Doctor Who comes to an end in 1980. 1989, first time. It's a big year for cinema.
Yeah.
We will discuss a bit more, but actually there's two big hitters. Hitchcock releases Frenzy, and A Clockwork Orange gets pulled from UK cinemas. Now, Hitchcock's Frenzy sees him come back to London. It's a very dark, cynical film. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's very good. It's a bit brutal, about a serial killer. There's kind of dark humour in it. It's a very different kind of flavour of Hitchcock to, it's like the gritty early 70s, really, and causes quite a bit of controversy. And Stanley Kubrick pulls A Clockwork Orange from cinema release because of the pressure from censorship and stuff. So, and then that maintains a kind of mystical quality of its own, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This kind of thing. You can't see it because it's banned in the UK. And,
Exactly. And the question is, would you want to see it? Because I have seen it, and I have to say, it's all right.
Right.
It's not to write home about, but it kind of creates this allure and mystique about the Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
A Clockwork Orange, doesn't it?
Not the Clockwork Orange.
Clockwork Orange.
The Clockwork Orange. You need a slate.
Yeah. So, yes, two big films there.
Yeah.
And in fashion as well, the hot pants craze peaks.
Yeah.
And the platform boot causes quite a few injuries.
God, I
a
bet
lot
it
of
did.
people
Yeah.
trying to walk on them for the first time. Fashion houses push hot pants, tabloids moralise, teens buy them, the classic cycle. At the same time, men and women both tot around on thick soles. Orthopaedic surgeons quietly rub their hands together in glee.
Yeah. I have to say, one of the looks which is my most favourite in fashion history is the hot pant and the knee-length platform boots. I think that's so cool. I mean, ridiculous. Really ridiculous. Obviously, hot pants will get taken up by men in the early 80s, which is super cool.
Yes.
But yeah, I love a hot pant. Give me a platform boot. 70s platform boot, not 90s Spice Girl platform boots.
Have you got them in your little treat bag at home?
Unfortunately, I'm 6'3", Dave. So if I wear platform boots, I suddenly become a fucking giant. So alas, no. Mary Jane, Plain Souls, I'm afraid, for me.
Oh.
Yep. On stage, Jesus Christ, Superstar. It's the big ticket that year. It's a phenomenon, really, in the West End.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it.
I have seen it, actually. I saw an amateur production of it, and
Right.
it was really good
Right.
because their heart and soul was put into it.
Right.
But that kind of, again, it's kind of like a glammy rocky opera kind of vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of really funky...
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not something I'd return back to. It's no Evita for me.
No, I see. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Master has spoken. It's no Evita.
It's no Evita. Okay. Gird your loins, everybody. Right. Get your tissues out. Watership Down is published. You all right there, Lee? We've lost him. We've lost him. Come back to me.
I'm back.
Watership Down is published. Richard Adams releases what becomes a modern classic and traumatises generations to come. Now, this is just the book.
Yes.
Never mind, the bloody film comes out a few years later.
Yeah. Is it a kind of a dream? Oh my God. Our teacher took us to see that.
Really?
Primary school kids.
Is he a sadist?
Well, everybody thought it was a kids' film because it was a cartoon about rabbits. So our teacher took us. Cut to, I think 2 classes went, so that's like 60 kids, sobbing, hysterical. I remember the teacher going, what the fuck do we do? You know, his kids were just traumatised.
Bless you.
And I remember one girl called Linda couldn't speak about it for weeks. She had PTSD about Watership Down. Don't blame her. I haven't been able to watch it ever since, I have to say. I can't even listen to the song without welling up. It's terrible.
Need to get a grip.
Scarred for life, honestly. Another interesting thing, talking about, flirting with gender expectations like glam rockers were, footballers were also creating a bit of a stir in 1970 with long hair. Now, long hair for men has been steadily getting more common since 66, 67 and was seen very much as pushing against the old guard. You only ever had short back and sides as a bloke before that point. Football, which was the last kind of preserve of masculinity. Players like George Best, Rodney Marsh suddenly have long hair as well. It's a real challenge in this very masculine space to have something which was always associated with femininity to be in this masculine space as well. So not only in glam rock are we getting this flirting and changing gender expectations, it's also happening in football.
Yes.
So in terms of cultural shifts and stuff, 1972 is a pretty good year bubbling away underneath, isn't it? Yes, it is.
It's strange how it goes in and out of fashion now. I mean, I wouldn't say long hair was on guys was particularly fashionable at the moment, but give it another 5-10 years, maybe it will be again.
But it's interesting, what's fashionable at the moment among men is facial hair again, as it was in the early 70s. The early 70s is really a good time for beards and tashes, The tash will go through to the 80s, but clean shaven becomes the norm until the last kind of maybe 10 years, the beard and the facial hair. So it's all cyclical.
Is that your way of telling me that I'm not fashionable?
I never said that.
I had a shave this morning.
I know, you've ruined it.
Didn't want to look scruffy.
Didn't want to look like 1972, clearly. Well, that's commitment for you.
Okay, so we're going to move on to some of the most influential movies released in 1972.
Yes, because again, we have looked at 1972 a couple of times, so we know what the top 10 is. But yes, a bit different in Cinema Corner. Just keep it
Cinema Corner.
Cinema Corner. No. Yeah, some of the most influential films of the year.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the biggest, but ones which are quietly turning the cinematic screws. The Godfather. Francis Ford Coppola, of course. It's the big one. It redefines the gangster genre.
It redefines cinema in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
as well.
storytelling.
Yeah.
How you actually progress a story on screen.
Yeah. Pretty consistently regarded as one of the best, if not the best film of all time.
Yes. Pacino, Brando obviously become iconic in it. I've never seen it.
Have you not seen it? I think you would like it.
Right.
It's phenomenal.
I'm sure I would.
Such a really good piece of filmmaking.
Yeah.
He said, looking down rather condescendingly. Yeah, actually, I find it really good.
Oh, do you? Right, great.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, Deliverance by John Borman.
Couldn't help it.
An intense backwoods survival thriller that became a cultural reference point. Yeah, the banjos, music, enters folklore, doesn't it?
Yes, it does indeed, yeah.
Yes, lots of men from the city.
Yeah.
Venturing into their countryside.
Yes, it's a film all about masculinities under pressure, really. And I don't think there are any women in it at all. apart from the very beginning, but it's a very male film.
Yeah.
And what happens when a certain types of male who's cock of the north in the city encroaches on the territory of the cock of the north in the country.
I mean, these two films, together with what we're going to talk about in the Poseidon Adventure, really demonstrating masculinity in movies, aren't they? And what it means to be a man.
Oh, absolutely.
In the 70s.
Absolutely. You can smell the high karate and Old Spice watching Deliverance, but actually the Poseidon Adventure as well, even everybody's soaked. Yeah. Number 3, another big one for us, Cabaret. Now, we've done an episode of Cabaret already.
We have. Please refer back to our back catalogue.
Yeah, Bob Fosse directed. A bold musical, really a new style of musical, shakes up the musical format, I guess. Decadence, fascism, sexuality. Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
Instantly becomes an icon.
Michael York. Fancied him.
And the other one, I can't remember.
And the other one, was like fanciable as well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah. But just a great movie. Great movie. So great that they showed it as part of my GCSE history in the 80s because it was so accurate in terms of looking at the way fascism creeps in.
Yeah.
And
it's great because a lot of musical movies don't have that depth to it. It's just it's just about a little relationship or something but this has all these undertones. It's just directed so well. The fact that there's all this joyous musical celebration and celebration of diversity and the joy of life. And then we see this malign juggernaut just heading towards this there's going to be a massive crash.
Yes, and we know what's going to happen at the end, and it's not going to end well.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm listening, actually, to another podcast at the moment, The Rest is History.
Oh, yes.
One of our competitors.
Yes.
Sort of. And they've got a really interesting series on the rise of the Nazis.
Right.
It's just so compelling and so interesting to see the parallels of what's going on today.
I know. It's almost like history repeats itself, but no one ever learns from it.
Anyway, let's move on from that. Sleuth is another film that debuts in 1972 that made quite a big impact, directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz. It's a razor-sharp two-hander with Laurence Olivier and Michael Caine. Elevated stage-to-screen adaptations, and it's beloved for its twisty structure.
Good. I've got Pink Flamingos. John Waters, starring Divine, obviously, who is a drag queen, quite a famous drag queen at the time on the drag circuit, but becomes mainstream almost. Helps define queer underground cinema, makes John Waters' name. You can see its influence on punk, on drag, and on indie films. So funny. Pink Flamingos. I mean, Divine is just a force of nature, isn't she? So, yeah, great movie and highly influential.
Shall we have a quick look at the top 10?
The top 10. So this is the top 10 from the 24th of December, 1972, so Christmas Eve, 1972.
So number 10 is Nights in White Satin, the Moody Blues.
Great song.
Sorry, something in my throat then.
Music to Emmerdale. Because you weren't singing Nights in White Satin. Oh, so you chose not the actual chorus, you chose the bit that comes after to illustrate the song.
Yeah.
I see how his mind works.
It's just award-winning podcasting right there. We won a bloody award for this shit.
Number 9, Donny Osmond. Why? That's the title of the song.
Yeah.
I'm just saying Donny Osmond. Why?
Donny
That's the title of the song. I don't know that at all.
Number 8.
Ben.
Michael Jackson.
Stop it.
Did you crash my Michael Jackson then?
It just came out of bed.
Like The Exorcist.
I remember in my secondary school, we do like a concert at Christmas, and they got this girl to sing Ben, and she was tone deaf. She started off quite well, and then she went, Ben, the two of us need look no more. And the whole audience was just pissing themselves, apart from her mother, who was sobbing on the front row. And it was like, wow.
Bless.
To be that tone deaf and actually think you're good.
Children are so cruel, aren't they?
Oh, not just the kids, the parents were pissing themselves as well. You couldn't help it. Number 7, Elton John, Crocodile Rock.
Aye, Crocodile Rock. Okay, Slade, Goodbye to
I
Jane.
think it's Good Boy to Jane. Good
boy.
Spelling.
All right, so it's proper Brummy, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Goodbye to Jane.
Yeah. Number 5, Crazy Horses, the
this was-
Osmonds.
This was the Osmonds' kind of attempt at glam rock, this, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
they were trying
maybe
to
there
be-
was a little bit of a crossover.
Yes. Yeah.
Riding the glam rock wave,
Yes.
or was glam rock riding the Osmonds wave?
Glam Rock riding the Osmonds.
Discuss.
Slade riding the Osmonds.
So, number 4, because it is Christmas Eve, after all, the chart's coming out. Happy Christmas, War is Over, John and Yoko and the Plastic Ono Band with the Harlem Community Choir.
Yes. Now, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, that there is no such thing as the Christmas number 1 at this point until this song is released. And people look at the performance of this song this year, and the next year, in 1973, decide to release a Christmas song.
Aye.
Wizard, Wish It Be Christmas Every Day, Slade, Merry Christmas Everybody,
Elton John.
Mud, Lonely This Christmas.
Yeah.
Because people realise if you release a song about Christmas, at Christmas, people will buy it. So I'd be interested to see what number 1 is in this chart, because it's not going to be a Christmas song, I suspect. Like last one we looked at, it was Ernie, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Whatever episode we looked at. So anyway, right, number 3, Solid Gold, Easy Action by T-Rex. Again, just glam rock, glam. Isn't it? Everything is glam,
isn't
glam,
it?
glam. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like an explosion.
Yeah,
Number
it's also all men. There's no women in this
True.
chart.
Apart from Yoko.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah.
That's the only one.
But she's not the headliner, is she?
No.
No one's...
No.
No.
Well, that's a whole new episode, isn't it? We could discuss about John and Yoko.
We could.
Yoko's contribution. Okay, number 2, My Ding-a-Ling. I Want You to Play With My Ding-a-Ling. Okay, back to the charts.
What's happening?
By Chuck Berry. My Ding-a-Ling.
My ding-a-ling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it, but what weird.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I got that far up the charts.
What do you think is number 1?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. Well, as we were saying, number 1 is Long-Haired Lover from Liverpool by Little. It's billed as Little Jimmy Osmond. So that's what we've just talked about in a nutshell, isn't it? Osmonds, glam rock.
Yes.
Everything
Yeah,
this year.
it is. Osmonds, in one form or other, have
Yeah.
3 singles in the top 10.
Top 10.
There.
They're huge.
Oh, my goodness.
Think how many records are selling at this point as well. Millions and millions. Gosh, yeah. And I'm just looking, just a quick look, but there's only 2 other women in the top 20, Lindsay DePaul and Gladys Knight.
Wow, yes.
So, masculine spaces, masculine culture at this point. And as we discussed, the Poseidon Adventure, quite a masculine movie as well. Yeah.
Well, you might say that. Shall we discuss the Poseidon Adventure? Shall we do a deep dive?
See what you did there?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Right then, Dr. Lee.
Yes.
Dr. Lee Arnott, social
Yes.
historian.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about the Poseidon Adventure?
Well, I will. It's New Year's Eve. That's why we've released this episode this time of year, to say Happy New Year, everybody. On the luxury liner, the SS Poseidon gets flipped upside down by a giant rogue wave, turning a fancy cruise into a floating nightmare. A ragtag group of survivors led by the fearless and slightly stubborn Reverend Frank Scott decides the only way out is to climb through the upside-down wreckage to freedom. Chaos, collapsing ceilings, and questionable life choices ensue. As the crew navigate the flooded corridors, selfish egos clash, heroics abound, and a few unfortunate souls meet watery ends. After a tense, stomach-churning trek, the survivors finally break through to the surface, proving that determination and maybe a little luck beats sheer panic. It's disaster, drama, and heroic absurdity all rolled into one beautiful thing.
That was a beautiful thing in itself.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Thank you.
Dr. Lee,
Yes.
before we do anything else, why don't you tell us, you got a bit of info about the disaster film in general, didn't you?
Yes.
And why it was a bit of a phenomenon in
Yes,
its time.
yes, because the early 1970s, and actually they kind of tail off towards the end of the 70s, but disaster movies are huge, big box office business. And there's a lot of debate, there's a lot of discussion as to why. There's a lot of cultural anxiety in the 1970s. Vietnam, Watergate, various oil crises, petrol prices, suddenly you can't get petrol. There's urban unrest, rising crime rates. There's a sense of an era of uncertainty and fear almost. And disaster movies act as a kind of safe way to psychologically confront these fears in the same way that horror films do. But they're also on a massive, dramatic spectacle scale. So an audience is able to process their social anxieties by watching some disaster on a screen. It allows them to actually work through them in some way. There's also the fears of technical failures, industrial collapse, that kind of stuff. So the other thing that makes them hugely popular, the all-star format. And we've got 5 Oscar winners in the Poseidon Adventure, you know. And there is nothing more that people love than to watch super glamorous, famous people getting put through the fucking ringer.
Yeah.
End up looking like shit. Think of Faye Dunaway in the Towering Inferno, you know. The special effects in this film are excellent.
Yes, they are.
It's all model work. There's no CGI. It's real physical stuff. The Towering Inferno is incredible to watch. Earthquake, my personal favourite, is incredible to watch. You know, they really... And that's an amazing thing to go to cinema to see. You know, again, mind-blowing to watch the world collapsing around you. There's also an element of morality plays in these films, you know. So people like Richard Chamberlain, who's a bastard in The Towering Inferno, gets satisfyingly killed off. You know, we do see some characters you like getting killed as well, but it's usually the bad ones will get their comeuppance at some point and the audience will go, yay, good. So all these different reasons make the disaster movie the kind of go-to cinema experience in the early 70s. The first one is, by all accounts, is Airport 1970, which is the first one where Karen Black, I think, is the stewardess who has to land the plane, you know, with them telling her how to do it, you know, because the pilots have been sucked out off, you know. So, yeah, they're great.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of that. I was presuming a little bit about... I mean, I know the Cold War wasn't at its height, but it did feel as though all these movies have a similar plot device, which is like an existential threat, an uncontrollable force bearing down on people.
Yes. And Irwin Allen, who's the producer of this film, is kind of like becomes synonymous with them. And he does Towering Inferno. He does this. He does The Swarm. Which is just magnificent in its shitness. But the trend goes on till it gets ridiculous. There's one called Meteor. Which I think is like the tail end of it, Sean Connery. And so a meteor strikes Earth and so allows the producers to get every single disaster. So you got volcanoes, earthquakes, floods, all of it, but on a really low budget. And the special effects are shit. But that's where it goes. So the Poseidon Adventure is riding the crest of a wave. Do we get any more maritime?
Now, I know you're talking about questionable special effects in some of these films and everything, but as you alluded to earlier on, I thought the special effects in this were great.
Yes, the model is fantastic.
I thought the model was great. The wave effect was great. All the upside down sets they had, everything, which apparently a lot of the actors were quite disorientated with.
Not surprised. Surprised. It's really good.
The look of the sweat, you could really feel the heat of the engine rooms. Things like that, just like attention to detail in it was fab. And one of my remaining memories of the Poseidon Adventure was the climbing up the upside down Christmas tree.
Yes, God, yeah. That whole sequence of the actual disaster happening, the build-up is great. I mean, it's like Chekhov's tidal wave, isn't it? The very beginning of the ship, the captain says, this ship is top-heavy. If something happens, we'll go over. And you know, right, okay, this is where we're going with this. But that actual sequence is fucking great.
It is great. I did question, because they were talking about kind of like the navigation at where they were, and it was quite apparent that they were in the Mediterranean, and I thought, how the fuck do they get a big massive tidal wave in the Mediterranean? So they've gone through the Straits of Gibraltar, so they were most definitely in there, but then it was said that there was an earthquake in Greece that had created this tidal surge. Which means that you're not even safe in the Med these days.
Not safe anyway.
A couple of things about the opener before the ship turns over, which I want to talk about, is in a lot of these films, capitalism and big business is the enemy. Because we've got the owner of the ship define the captain's orders, the captain saying, I'm in charge of this boat, and the money guy's saying, no, the money's in charge of this boat. Go faster. Kind of vibe. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was Leslie Nielsen as the captain. Now, he's only in the first act. We don't see him again, presumed dead. I just couldn't get my head around Leslie Nielsen. I can't get my head around Leslie Nielsen when he plays it straight. When he's playing it straight. Because you just expect a fart gag at some point. But I mean, he's brilliant. I mean, he's a brilliant straight actor as well, which he was, you know, acting his socks off in this. It's just my issue I have with him. I just want to laugh when I see him.
It's funny, isn't it? I just watched recently Prom Night a 1980 slasher with Jamie Lee Curtis and Leslie Nielsen. And I keep expecting him to.
Yeah.
Would you get gag?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's very good in this. He's really very good. But this is not a film without its problematic elements.
Yes.
And I was really struck watching it this time, specifically with PG Towers' eyes on.
Yeah.
How problematic some of the elements are and what they're representing. Should we have to go through the characters?
Yeah.
And just see, because the plot, ship turns over, get out. So I'd like to start off with Mr. and Mrs. Rogo.
Yes.
Now, he is Ernest Borgnine and his wife. He's an ex-detective. She's an ex-sex worker.
Yes.
Who are now married. They've got an abrasive relationship. They clearly love each other and adore each other.
There's clearly a massive amount of insecurity on both sides, isn't there? Him because he's married this sex worker and the reputation that it's almost as if it's a threat to his masculinity that he hasn't been able to find a conventional wife and he has to marry a sex worker. And then on her part is the insecurity that she was a sex worker and
may know somebody.
Yeah, and may know somebody and how people read her.
Yeah. And it's interesting, the script doesn't allow him to forget it either. He's asked at one point, how many guys did you know? So it's a bit icky.
Yes.
But then we see with her, and one of the problematic elements of this film is how the treatment of men and women in this movie. And she is overtly sexualized in this film in terms of what she's made to wear and how she presents. In her opening shot, she's in a blue negligee, for example. But then after the disaster, conveniently, she ends up in like just a man's shirt and a pair of knickers. The men have got all their clothes on. Yeah. We see Pamela Sue Martin has to get rid of her long skirt, And Ernest Borgnine says, next time I say to put something on like I've told you to. So, they won't even let her have cake and eat it. She's got to wear the stuff, but then she's criticised for it,
Yeah. But there's no kind of redemption for her either in this. Now, we're not criticising this film. So these are the conventions of the time that since been considered problematic. But she continues to be abrasive. She's impatient. She's got no time for Shelley Winters and her health conditions.
Her fat ass.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
Who goes that next?
Yeah. And there's no redemption for her character. Like there is other characters. She gets no kind of hero's journey where she's faced with a dilemma and she chooses the right side and becomes the hero.
Yeah.
There's not that. She literally just falls into flames and dies.
And again, some people have said that's a problematic element, just the sudden death of characters who with no kind of they're dead. Suddenly, that's it, they're done. There's been no kind of moral imperative or anything. They're just suddenly cast aside, and she does suffer this horrible death that only, she's fridged basically because then it allows her husband to then go on and press on,
Now, for me, I find her one of my favourite characters, and I think that's got a lot to do with the actor.
Brilliant performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's very warm. She draws you in, doesn't she? Even though the character is spiky, not very nice, really. But yeah, she's great. She's great.
Yes. So she was played by Stella Stevens, the actor who plays Linda Rogo. Yeah, phenomenal actor, actually, I thought. Yeah. And managed to, with a limited script and the limited character fleshing outiness, for want of a better word, I thought she did well to kind of give a sense of empathy towards that character.
She's given very few notes, but she manages to make you care about her and be upset when she dies, Then we have Mr. and Mrs. Rosen, the legend that is Shelley Winters. Yeah. It's constantly reinforced. Their Jewish background is constantly pushed down the viewer's throat. No problem at all. But her betrayal almost leans into stereotype. She's loud, she's nagging. She's a comic relief in lots of ways. She's also constantly mocked or belittled for her weight.
There were so many mentions of her weight.
Even from herself.
Yes.
She's a fat woman like me can't climb.
Yeah.
Whereas Stella's going, fat ass, know. Dreadful. When she gets stuck up the Christmas tree, the kind and somebody's saying, "Move your fat ass," it's Shelley fucking Winters.
It was just overkill, and I just don't know why they had to make such a big deal out of her weight. And I just wondered if that was it was standard at the time that if someone was larger, they were called fat. But it just felt like, why are you mentioning her weight again?
Yes.
It's like every 2 minutes there was a mention of it.
Yes. And interestingly, Shelley Winters doesn't have to take any of her clothes off. No. Now, I remember, because spoiler alert, she dies And I remember when first time I saw this, I was so sad that she died, because she's the one that enables them to get through this underwater bit, because, hey, convenient plot device, she's the underwater swimming champion from like 1932 or whatever.
Before I became fat.
Yes,
Kind of vibe.
Yeah. But the sacrifice it's framed in a way that suggests that redemption comes through physical suffering because of her weight. This is the only way she can make up for being a larger figure.
Yeah.
And I think that's quite uncomfortable, actually.
Yeah, it's quite uncomfortable. But I mean, gazers who've watched this film, how many of you try and hold your breath for as long as Shelley Winters does underwater?
I do.
Hands in the air.
I do.
Yeah,
can't do it, obviously.
No.
Can't do it.
No.
Yeah.
Smoke too many fags.
Yeah. Can you vape underwater? Now, the big thing for me in this movie was the representations of masculinities in this film.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Gene Hackman's character, Reverend Scott. He's a character who's disillusioned with old school worship. He's a rebellious, aggressive clergyman who challenges God directly. Immediately, he's established as the group's leader. Yeah. Ultimately, he will get a hero sacrifice, but characters who don't follow him are seen as foolish or doomed, basically. And this film is very much a might makes right mentality. To survive, you've got to be strong, you've got to be tough, you've got to listen to one man. There's no kind of sense of collective decision-making. There's no sense of people trying to do this together. He's the leader. And this film is very much a film of men doing while women reacting.
Yes.
Or not doing anything, or screaming, or crying, or panicking. And we see a lot of the male body under pressure at this point. And for men in the audience, that's a very attractive thing to watch. Why action movies tend to skew heavily in favour of male viewers. So, as I said, leadership is equated with physical strength, aggression, and dominance. The women are there to be rescued, or Shelley Winters is the rare case that a woman does something, but then she gets punished.
She's redeemed.
Yeah, then punished by the script for it and snuffs it. Female characters are largely wives, mothers, or romantic interests. They're the only ones who cry or show fear and scream or panic and freeze. The men don't.
Yeah, in particularly, there's a character called Nonnie Parry, whose brother dies. She's the singer in the band.
Yes.
She's played by Carol Lindley. She goes through the entire journey. I can't do this.
Yeah.
She cries. She has to be urged to be brave by the men. She just came across as a really pathetic portrayal of a woman, which I would imagine in real life, women like that don't exist.
Yeah.
Well, that's a gross generalisation as well. But why couldn't they have a woman who was pioneering this as well and say, okay, you want me to do this? Fine, I'll do this. Rather than, I can't do it.
Exactly.
You know, basically having to be almost slapped into pulling herself together, basically.
She doesn't get a slap. Pamela Sue Martin gets a slap, because this is another trope of the time. A hysterical woman, give her a slap around the face.
Yeah.
So Susan, Pamela Sue Martin, just adore.
Yeah.
And her younger brother, Chris, the young male kid, has to look after Susan, who's supposed to be older. Susan gets a slap for being hysterical. Even the kid, the younger brother, contributes more to the plot than Pamela Sue Martin does. He knows the layout of the ship. He knows where the rooms are because he's a boat geek.
And is a brave young boy.
Exactly. And male characters who are cautious or emotional are seen as weak or cowardly. There's a lot of pissing up the Ural the highest between Gene Hackman and Ernest Borgnine, isn't there? And again, this is attractive to see men competing with each other.
Now, I thought this butting of heads like two rutting stags was overkill as well. And I don't know if I just blinked or looked away for a second why this clash was established, because they shouted at each other. Yeah. This was masculinity
in competition.
Times 1,000, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was every single scene they had to contradict each other.
Yeah.
Or say, no, we need to do this. No, we need to do this. And it just got to the point where it's just like, fucking hell, this is overkill.
Yes.
And now there are rumours, and I will say in inverted commas, there are rumours that Gene Hackman and Ernest Borgnine didn't get on during filming of
Right.
this, and
Right.
hence it's kind of translated in their performance where see who could shout the loudest.
Right.
But it was very much like a pissing competition, so like you say, so you could piss up highest. And I don't know if I agree that actually happened, that because it's better for the press, isn't it, of a film to say the two lead stars didn't get on with each other. But you never know, they're probably sat in each other's trailers, you know, having a glass of whiskey together and stuff, and it's totally fine.
Absolutely.
But, you know, folklore is better, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
But why did we have to have these two men just shouting at each other all the way through the film?
Because that's what it shows you, that masculinity... Well, actually, masculinities are in competition with each other. There's one jostling to be top dog. And as you kind of allude to, how productive is it? Does it help anybody? Does it get them further? No. It's like, guys, will you just shut the fuck up? You know? So we have this kind of classical Deliverance, another film we talked about earlier, is a very similar thing. Men pissing up the urinal highest, you know? So it's what a certain type of straight bloke does, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, I mean, you see it writ large when you just go to the pub sometimes, don't you?
Yes.
You know, who... I don't know why it is that some men, well, look, I mean, this is just like, you know, you can go through the history of time, of the human race, why men feel the urge to compete with each other like this.
Yes.
And it's normally, you know, in the presence of women a lot of the time, not wanting their masculinity compromised.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And it's also, even if it's not in the presence of women, it's aimed at a wider audience who are watching.
Yes.
So blokes, as a group of blokes together, are performing masculinity for the other blokes in that group. So
And not being able to back down.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, this whole might is right argument, think of Trump. You know, we're going to be better, we're going to be bigger, and the inability to back down is, or say, oh shit, sorry guys, what's wrong with that, you know?
Gonna kill us all.
Yeah, it's part of this movie. I've only got a few other things. The cast is very white.
Yes.
But that reflects in Hollywood norms of the era.
Yeah.
And it's very heteronormative. Mrs. Rose and Shelley Winters want everybody to be married. Doesn't understand why nobody wouldn't want to be married. It's like, all right, we get it. You like marriage and kids, you know.
Yeah.
It seems to be what this film is telling. It's the only way for people to perform. But apart from that and the other elements we've discussed, I still love it.
Oh, it's great. It is great.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it for what it is. It's of its time.
Yeah.
This is what masculinities was presented like
Yeah.
in movies this time.
Yes.
Women were portrayed as damsels in distress and didn't get much of a backstory or of a journey.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, special effects wise, fantastic. Performance wise, amazing.
Yeah.
Characterization, questionable.
It's a disaster movie.
But yes.
I mean, I love the disaster movie setup. You get like the introduction to all the characters. You'll get like 3 brief notes about them. You're like, oh, that's all you need to know. Because actually what we're here for is the disaster and how we get out of it, you know?
Now, Gene Hackman, can we just talk about him a little while?
Yes.
Because this altered the path of Gene Hackman's career. So, in 1972, he appears in the Poseidon Adventure. By this point, he was a critically respected actor, but he was not yet a guaranteed box office draw in himself. So he'd already broke through with Bonnie and Clyde in 67, which earned him his first Oscar nomination and puts him on Hollywood's radar. And then he does I Never Sang for My Father, which is a film I've never heard of, from 1970, but earns him his second Oscar nomination. So that cemented his reputation as a serious actor.
Right.
So he's respected by critics at this point, but not yet a mainstream star. Then cut to the Poseidon Adventure, which is the pivot for him. It was his first true blockbuster, and it proved that he could carry a large ensemble and anchor a commercial film. So that role kind of showed the studios, actually, we've got a leading man potential here. Right. So then what came immediately after the Poseidon Adventure was The French Connection.
Right.
It was released earlier,
right,
but the impact overlapped. It's like it was released and then the Poseidon Adventure came out and then it did even better.
Right.
So he was riding both those waves at that point.
Gosh.
And then Hackman won Best Actor at the Oscars for The French Connection. Yes. And then he starred in lots of other different films during the 70s, The Scarecrow, The Conversation, Night Moves, and Superman.
Of course, Lex Luthor.
Yeah, exactly. So this run established him as one of the defining actors of the new Hollywood era, and he was able to move effortlessly between art films, thrillers, and blockbusters. Yeah. So, it's the Poseidon Adventure that Gene Hackman's got to thank for it.
Gosh. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, and he just died recently, didn't he?
He did. Really terrible, sad circumstances. Yeah, it was awful. But what a career. Great career. And for many, he's the original Lex Luthor in the way that Christopher Reeve is the original Superman. You know,
Yeah.
he'll never be bettered, in my opinion.
He is. Actually, I watched a documentary on Superman and Gene Hackman and Sarah Douglas,
Oh, yes.
who played, was it Ursa?
Yes, I think
It's
so.
one of the three baddies in Superman 2.
3 hot baddies in Superman
Yeah,
2.
and I think they appeared at the end of Superman 1, I think, research department.
I think it's the beginning of Superman 1 when they're exiled.
Okay, fine. And she was saying that Gene Hackman was the ultimate gentleman. He was really nice to her because it was one of her kind of, she'd been in films before, but one of her starring movies and everything. Yeah. So that was really nice to hear her talking fondly of Gene Hackman and stuff.
Nice. One thing I couldn't stop thinking of in this movie, continuity, what a fucking nightmare it must have been.
Sweat continuity.
Continuity, yeah. It must have been horrific trying to put it together.
Yeah.
And also, of course, if there are any Doctor Who fans out there and you did watch the Christmas special from 2008 called Voyage of the Damned, it does look a bit similar to this movie, doesn't it? Yeah, it's basically just, they copied that. They copied the Poseidon Adventure. Russell T Davies has been very open about owning that, so yeah.
Very good.
So, with all that being said, what would you rate the Poseidon Adventure?
I would rate the Poseidon Adventure 8 upside down tables out of 10.
I'm going to give it 8.5 Pamela Sue Hot Pants.
Yes.
Out of 10.
Fantastic.
Yeah. It's great.
It is great.
Not without its problematic elements.
No.
As we've discussed. No. But, God, I love it.
Oh.
And that nostalgia thing clearly plays a part in it, as we've discussed before. Something you see when you're young.
Yeah.
And it imprints on you like a chicken and a mother and a hen.
Nostalgia has got a lot to answer for.
It really does.
It does. And that's my kind of New Year's Eve party, apart from the tidal wave, obviously, and the impending death.
Yes.
1970s, all dressed up in tuxes, fabulous dresses, lots of glitter hanging down.
Yes.
Yeah, and a big band playing. That's my idea of a New Year's Eve party.
Lovely.
Not being round at someone's house and just taking a 4-pack round.
God, you make it sound so great. 4-pack of this lager.
So now, we've got a few things to say, haven't we?
We have.
Namely, we're not going to have an episode next week.
We're not here next week.
We're not here next week.
Unfortunately.
We've got family commitments.
Life things have happened and we just need to have a week off.
Yeah, we do.
But
we do, which we don't take lightly, but life
is life sometimes.
It's life. Yes.
So we're going to
reissue.
Yes.
One of our past episodes that we really enjoyed and went down well with our gazers. Now, for our new gazers who haven't delved into our back catalogue yet, it's an ideal opportunity for you to listen to something from the past. So the week after that, which will be our first full new episode, is going to be...
We're going to look at Dirty Dancing.
Yes.
Is it dirty?
Is it
dancing?
Oh, Patrick Swayze.
Oh, Patrick Swayze still my beating heart.
Nobody puts Dr. Lee in the corner. So...
Unless he's in a gimp mask and a sling.
Exactly. So as a little precursor to that, we're reissuing our episode on Greece.
Yes.
So Greece, obviously set in the late 50s, segueing into our new episode, Dirty Dancing, which is set in the early 60s.
Yes, but the aesthetics, the music, the pop culture is pretty much the same. They could be from the same... Exactly the same era. Yeah,
so, absolutely. Yeah. And then later on this week, we'll be issuing our Problematic Gazette, which we're going to treat as a little review of the year.
Indeed. We've got some listener letters.
Our gazers have been writing in.
Thank you for that.
Yes, talking about what they've enjoyed this year on The Problematic Gaze. You've still got time to do that if you want to send us an email.
Yes.
theproblematicgaze@gmail.com.
Yeah.
In the meantime, please follow our socials as well. And before I say anything else, we'll say Dirty Dancing episode. We're going to slightly rejig our format a little bit, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Just to keep ourselves fresh.
Fresh.
Yes, fresh for 26.
Yes. 26 fresh.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
We'll still be discussing problematic elements of it, but the format will alter slightly.
We're just tweaking.
We're tweaking.
Tweaking a bit,
We're
aren't we?
titivating. Doing a little spring clean, but in January.
Exactly.
Yes.
Pushing away the cobwebs.
Out with the old, in with the new.
In with the new. That's why you're being replaced by Carl Vorderman. Sorry,
What?
I didn't tell you that. Nothing. Joking. Right, love, I'm off to climb an upside-down Christmas tree that's 30 foot high in a pair of red hot pants and stilettos. What are you doing?
Oh, I thought I'd just try and blow torch a little hole through the hull of a upturned ship.
Great stuff. Good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
So until next time, gazers.
Until next
Happy
time.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
May 2026 bring you fun, frolics, and plenty of bounty.
Yes.
And we shall see you the other side. No, not death. I mean, in 2026.
Yeah, have a good one. Au reservoir.
Au reservoir.